Welcome to our YouTube channel. Welcome to Add Maths Plus Maths. In this video, I am going to discuss to you Mathematics of IGCSE Paper 4, Variant 2, February-March 2020. This includes item numbers 3 to 6. Let's start with question number 3. Letter A. Manjit uses 220 liters of water each day. She reduces the amount of water she uses by 15%. Calculate the number of liters of water she now uses each day. So if we want to calculate that number of liters after reduction of 15%, I will just subtract 100 by 15. This gives me 85%. So this 85% I will just divide by 100, then I will multiply to 220. Okay, so I will get 187 liters. Our answer for question letter number 3, letter A, is 187 liters. Let's move on to letter B. Manjit has two mathematically similar bottles in her bathroom. The large bottle holds 1.35 liters and is 29.7 cm high. The small bottle holds 0.4 liters. Calculate the height of the small bottle. Always remember, when we are talking about similar figures or similar objects, we have to understand the idea about scale factor. If the length scale factor is equivalent to x, the area scale factor will be equivalent to x squared, and the volume scale factor is equivalent to x cubed. In this case, what we know are the volume of the two bottles, the small and the large. Okay, therefore, since the volume are given, both the volume are given, then we can find the volume of the volume scale factor of the two figures that we have here. Okay, so what will we do so that we can find the volume scale factor? We will just divide the volume of the large bottle by the volume of the small bottle. Okay, so divided, you will get 3.375. okay, in order for us, so remember, if the length scale factor is x, volume scale factor is x cubed. So therefore, this volume scale factor is equivalent to x cubed. To find out the length scale factor, you have to cube root 3.375. Okay, so cube root of 3.375 is equivalent now to 1.5. Remember, the opposite of cube is cube root. That's why I cube root that 3.375 to find out the length scale factor. So the length scale factor now is 1.5. And remember also, if you are looking for big, okay, from small, multiply the scale factor. If you're looking for the small from big, then divide the scale factor. So small to big, multiply. Big to small, divide. Okay, so you know already that the length scale factor is here. The length of the bottle, which is the height, is 29.7. okay, we want to find out the height of the small bottle, so we look for small, so we need to divide. Okay, so 29.7 divided by 1.5. So 29.7 divided by 1.5 is equivalent to 19.8. So our answer here is 19.8 centimeter. Okay, next, letter C. Water from Manjit's shower flows at a rate of 12 liters per minute. The water from the shower flows into a tank that is a cuboid of length 90 cm and width 75 cm. Calculate the increase in the level of water in the tank when the shower is used for 7 minutes. So, you have to calculate first what will be the volume of the water. So volume of the water is 12 liters times 7 because volume is 12 liters per minute and it runs through 7 minutes. So 12 liters times 7, you will get 84 liters of water. Okay? And if you have 84 liters of water and you are putting this water into a tank with a that is a cuboid with a length of 90 centimeter and 75 centimeter width, then to find out the height, okay, to find out the height or the level of water, okay, you just need to use the formula for the volume of the cuboid, which is length times width times height. Okay, so you know already the length, you know already the width, you know already the volume of the water that will flow into the tank. Okay, so you just basically need to substitute that, and then 90 times 75 is equivalent to 6,750 centimeters squared. Okay, now can I immediately divide 6,750 centimeters squared by 84 liters? No, not yet. You have to change 84 liters into cubic centimeter. So what is the factor for cubic centimeter or liter to cubic centimeter? Remember, 1 liter is equivalent to 1,000 cubic centimeter. So what you need to do is to multiply that 84 by 1,000 to replace the unit liters into cubic centimeter. So it will have 84,000 cubic centimeter is equal to 6,750 centimeters squared times height. Therefore, we can immediately divide. Okay, now you divide, you will have the centimeter squared cancelled. Okay, 1 centimeter will be left behind. 84,000 divided by 6,750, you will get 12.4 centimeter. So our answer here is 12.4 centimeter. So it's very important to take note of the units that you are using. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's move on now to question number 4. Question number 4 says, a solid metal cone has a radius of 1.65 centimeter and slant height of 4.70 centimeter. Calculate the total surface area of the cone. Total surface area of a cone is equivalent to, okay, curved surface area plus area of the base. Okay, so what we are going to do now here is just substitute the formula. So pi RL, okay, R is the radius 1.65 and then L is 4.70 or the slant height. Remember, L is slant height. Okay, then area of the base, which is a circle, is pi R squared. So R is 1.65 again. Okay, so the total surface area is this 7.755 pi centimeter squared plus 2.7225 pi centimeter squared. Okay, if you add them up, this will become 10.4775 pi centimeter squared. Encode this in your calculator, you will get an approximate value of 32.91603703 centimeters squared. Okay, of course, you have to write your answer into 3 significant figures. So your final answer will become 32.9 centimeters squared. There. Okay, so there. I was not able to show yet the figure, but later, I think in question letter B, you will see the figure. Okay. A solid metal cone has a radius of 1.65 centimeter and slant height of 4.70 centimeter. Find the angle the slant height makes with the base of the cone. So the angle that the slant height makes with the base of the cone. Okay, so this is the figure so that we can easily understand. Okay. it's also good if you draw in your paper while taking the examination. That's one of my advices that I give to my students. Okay, so there. So I have here, you take a look at it, I have a height, and then I have the radius, then this is the slant height, but I don't mind about the height because what I'm just taking a look at is the angle where the slant height and the base are making. Okay, so radius is 1.65 cm, slant height is 4.70 cm. The angle that we are looking for is this. Okay, so that one, so that is a question mark. Okay, how do we look for that? Let's try to separate so that we can better understand. Okay, remember this part is what you call hypotenuse, and since this is the angle, the adjacent side is this part. Okay, so, and also take note that this is a right triangle, so this is actually a right angle. Okay, if you have a right triangle, there is only one thing that you can use so that you can find an angle, because Pythagoras theorem is only for the sides, but for angles we can use the SOHCAHTOA. Okay, in here, since it is hypotenuse and adjacent, we will be using the trigonometric function cosine. Theta is equivalent to adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, what is the measurement of the adjacent? It is 165. What is the measurement of the hypotenuse? It is 4.70. So it will become cosine theta is equal to 1.65 divided by 4.70. Okay, you just need to bring the cosine to the right side, which will give you the cosine inverse. Okay, cosine inverse of 1.65 divided by 4.70. So what you need to do is just to encode this in your calculator. You will get 69.4476025. Okay, of course you have to write your answer in 1 decimal place because we are dealing with angles or angle measurements. Okay, so your answer should be 69.44 degrees. Okay, next, let's move on to letter C. Calculate the volume of the cone. Okay, volume of the cone is given there. So you're lucky if the formula will be given. But I think volume of a cone, volume of a sphere are always given in the papers. Okay, so volume of a cone is equivalent to 1 over 3 times pi times r squared or radius squared times height. So basically, we have all these details already. The radius is 1.65. Okay, the height is, we don't know yet the height. What we know is the slant height. So remember, if you have a figure, okay, we know that the slant height is 4.70, but we don't know yet the height. Okay, we need to find out first what is the height. Okay, by using the Pythagoras theorem. So h is one of the legs, so h squared plus 1.65 squared is equivalent to the square of the hypotenuse, so 4.70 squared there. Okay, so therefore h now is equivalent to 4.70 squared minus 1.65 squared. Why? Because I moved the 1.65 squared to the right side, it will become negative 1.65 squared. Okay, there, and then I will square root both sides. Just encode this in my calculator. I will have 4.400852219. I will be using that as a value of the h in my formula, which is the volume of a cone. So the volume of the cone now is 1 over 3 times pi. The radius is 1.65. I will square that times the height, the result, which is 4.400852219. Okay, if you notice, I don't usually put it into 3 significant figures if it's not yet my final answer. Okay, so I will write whatever my calculator will give me. Okay, I will just simplify up at the end of my solution. Okay, on my final answer. Okay, so it will become 12.546,80906. Okay, so your answer will become 12.5 centimeter cube. That's our answer. Next, let's move on to question letter C, number 2. A metal sphere with radius 5 cm is melted down to make cones. Okay, so I have a sphere, a big sphere. Okay, it will be melted down into smaller identical cones. Okay, calculate the number of complete identical cones that are made. Okay, so first and foremost, I have to calculate what is the volume of this metal sphere. Okay, so that I know how to divide it. Okay, because I need to divide it by the volume of the cones, okay, that we have. And you know already that the volume of the cone is 12.5 centimeter cube. Okay, so find out first what is the volume of the sphere. Volume of the sphere is 4/3 times pi times the radius is 5 centimeter. It's written there. Then cube it. Okay, so you will get 523.5987756. Okay, you just need to divide this by 12.5 to find out how many identical cones do we have. So if I will divide, this will appear 41.88790205. Okay, but remember guys that I have number of complete identical cones. So complete, so it cannot be, it's not possible that it will become 42 because it's only 41.9. Okay, so I will only write my answer as 41 identical cones and all of them are complete. Okay, next, I might have another cone but it will be smaller than the usual, the 12.5 centimeter cube. Okay, so our answer here is 41 cones. Okay, you will get 4 marks. Let's move on to question number 5. In this problem, we are asked to write this expression as a single fraction in its simplest form. So remember, when you are writing an expression like this to a single fraction, you have to use the formula a over b. If it is plus, then you write plus. If it is minus, then it's minus. C over d is equal to ad plus or minus b times c over b times d. Basically, you have rules on adding or subtracting fractions. For example, finding out first the least common denominator before you add. Okay? But since we are dealing with algebraic expression, you have to use this kind of formula to make your problem solving easier. Okay, so let's try to apply that one. So I will just basically multiply first the left numerator times the right denominator. So it will be x plus 3 times x plus 2. Then since this is minus, then I will put minus sign. I will multiply the left denominator and the upper portion of the right term, which is x minus 2. So x minus 3 times x minus 2. And then I will divide by the product of the denominators. So I will divide it by x minus 3 times x plus 2. Okay? After that, I am going to expand the brackets. So expanding the brackets will give me x squared plus 5x plus 6 when I expand x plus 3 times x plus 2. There. Then I will subtract. Remember, if this is addition, you don't need to write any bracket on the right side. Okay, since this is subtraction, I will put bracket x squared minus 5x plus 6. Take note of that because this is one of the common mistakes of students who are studying mathematics. Okay, so you have to put a bracket because you have to distribute this negative or minus sign to each of the terms inside the bracket. Okay, again, x squared minus 5x plus 6 is the result when you expand the bracket x minus 3 times x minus 2. Now, let's expand the bracket on the denominator, okay, which is x squared minus x minus 6. Okay, of course, again, as I've told you, I have to distribute that negative sign or minus sign to each and every of the term. Okay, distribute it, you will get negative x squared, positive 5x, and negative 6. And then, I will just basically divide that by x squared minus x minus 6. Okay, next thing to do is to combine similar terms. But in here, you will notice that x squared minus x squared is 0. So, I can cancel that out. 6 and negative 6 is 0 if you are trying to combine them. Then I have 5x and 5x is 10. Okay, 10x. Okay, now let's just remove whatever we can remove. And then I'll have 10x over that one. If you want, you can factorize out the denominator, bring it back to x minus 3 times x plus 2. That can be your final answer. But again, I can write my final answer like this already since I was able to make it as a single fraction in its simplest form. But usually, some of you will bring back it to x minus 3 times x plus 2 for the denominator. Okay, there. So, I can write my answer as 10x over x squared minus x minus 6 or 10x over x minus 3, the quantity of that, times the quantity of x plus 2. Now, let's move on to question letter B of number 5. This question, if you will notice, is about loss of exponents. And the operations that is involved here is division of two numbers with the same basis. Okay, so I will be using a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n is equivalent to a to the power of m minus n. You notice that I subtracted the index, so meaning I will just subtract 12 and k over 2. Okay, so it will become 2 raised to the power of 12 minus k over 2. Okay, next, of course, I cannot solve the equation, okay, if I will not change 32 into a number with a base and an index. And the base should also be the same as the base on the left side of the equation. So therefore, I will change that 32 to an exponent which will be equivalent to, I have 5 times, I multiplied that 2 to itself. So it will become 2 raised to the power of 5. So this will be 2 raised to the power of 12 minus k over 2 is equivalent now to 2 raised to the power of 5. And always remember, if a power of x is equal to a power of y, then I can just remove that base, those common base, okay, and then I will just equate the indices which are x and y. In this case, I will equate 12 minus k over 2 and 5. So it will become like this. After that, I will try to solve now for the value of the k by making it the subject of the formula. Therefore, I will subtract both sides by 12. I will come up with negative k over 2 is equal to negative 7. After that, I will multiply both sides by negative 2. So, you will come up with the value of the k is 14 for 2 marks. 14. Okay, next letter C. Expand and simplify. So, if I want to expand and simplify this one, I have y plus 3 times y minus 4. Okay, I will just multiply those two expressions first, and then after that I will multiply it by 2y minus 1. So if I want to expand these two brackets, it will become y squared minus y minus 12. And then I will just multiply that with 2y minus 1, which is the third expression that I am multiplying. To expand further the brackets, I have to multiply each of the 2y and negative 1 to y squared, negative y, and negative 12. So let's start with 2y. 2y times y squared is 2y cubed. 2y times negative y is negative 2y squared. 2y times negative 12 is negative 24y. Negative 1 times y squared is negative y squared. Negative 1 times negative y is positive y. Negative 1 times negative 12 is positive 12. Okay? Of course, to simplify, because there's an instruction that we need to simplify, so you need to simplify by combining similar terms. 2y cubed, bring it down because it's the only cube, y cubed that we have here. So 2y cubed. And then negative 2y squared and negative y squared are similar terms. Combine it, you will have negative 3y squared. And then I have negative 24y, and then y combined, negative 23y. And then I'll have 12 alone as a constant. You cannot see any other constant here. So 12, bring it down. Okay? As simple as that, you will get your answer, 2y cubed minus 3y squared minus 23y plus 12. You'll get 3 marks. But of course, you have to show this kind of working in order for you to get those 3 marks. Let's move on to letter D. Make x the subject of the formula. If you want to make x the subject of the formula, multiply both sides by y first. Okay? After multiplying both sides by y, you will have xy is equal to 3 plus x. After that, make sure all terms with variable x are placed in one side of the equation. It can be either on the left or on the right. Okay? So I will move that x, this x, to the left side. I will basically subtract x to both sides. So I will have xy minus x is equal to 3. Then, factorize the x. Why do I need to factorize the x? I need to make that x just one quantity. Okay, so I'll have x bracket y minus 1. Why is it y minus 1? Because xy divided by x is y. Negative x divided by x is negative 1. That is equal to 3. After that, divide both sides by y minus 1. Why do I need to divide? Remember, we are making that x the subject of the formula. So, if we want to remove that y minus 1, since it's being multiplied to x, what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. Just to remove it. So, you'll have x is equal to 3 over y minus 1. So, our answer here is 3 over y minus 1. Let's move on to question number 6. So Leica has 6 cards, numbered 1 to 6. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She takes one card at random, records the number and replaces the card. Write down the probability that the number is 5 or 6. Okay? So 5 or 6. So you will notice here that if I will do that, I can have 2 out of 6. Why 2 out of 6? Because I have 5 and then 6. So there are 2 cards out of how many? 6 cards. So 2 out of 6. It can also be written as 1 over 3. Next question is, so Leica does this 300 times. Find how many times she expects the number 5 or 6. So basically, if you have 2 out of 6 over here, okay, you will just multiply it by 300 because you are doing it 300 times. So you will have 2 out of 6 times 300, you'll get 100. Or you can just basically multiply 1 over 3 times 300, you'll get 100. So those are the questions for letter A. Let's move on to letter B. Suleika takes 2 cards at random without replacement. So, the first problem a while ago is she will take 1 card and then brings it back, then it can be replaced. But in letter B, Suleika takes 2 cards at random and then it cannot be replaced anymore. So there's a big difference between with replacement and without replacement when you are dealing with probability. Okay? So number 1, find the probability that the sum of the numbers on the 2 cards is 5. Okay. I will be using, instead of doing some computations, I will be using a box wherein says sum. Okay, sum. So I will just basically add 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. And so on. 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay, but remember, I cannot repeat the number. Okay, so therefore, I will be removing those 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6. So those are out of my choices already. So I will have how many results? I will have 30 results because basically this one has 36 results all in all. I will be removing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 results. So I will be left with 30 results. Now the question is, find the probability that the sum of the numbers on the 2 cards is 5. So take a look at where is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 sums up to 5. Out of how many results? 30. So 4 out of 30. Or it can also be written as 2 out of 15 as its simplest form. Let's move on to question number 2. Find the probability that at least one of the numbers on the cards is a square number. Okay? Remember, square numbers are the result of squaring a number. Example, 1 squared is 1. So 1 is a square number. 2 squared is 4. So 4 is a square number. 3 squared is 9. But remember, 9 is not anymore included in our list of cards. Okay? So I will only have 1 and 4. Let's try to put it again into a table of values. Okay? So this is the table of values that we have now. Again, you cannot repeat the number because it's without replacement. So I will remove all those that is repeated. So I will be left with 30 choices, and out of those 30 choices, okay, it says here at least one of the numbers on the cards is a square number. So I can have 4 and 1, 4 and 2, 4 and 3, 4 and 5, 5 and 4, 6 and 4, 3 and 4, 2 and 4, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 1 and 5, 2 and 1, 3 and 1, 5 and 1, and 6 and 1. Okay? Therefore, if you will count, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 results that has a perfect square number. Okay? So 18 out of the total results is 30. So I have 18 out of 30. Okay? Or again, you can simplify this and make it 3 out of 5. That's all for this video. Thank you and happy learning. I hope you have learned something in this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so that you will be updated with our latest video and learn more about mathematics and additional mathematics.